to the Cutera Comedy Club. We are so glad to have one of the great young comic talents with us. Put your hands together for the Greg Wilson.
Woo! I'm getting old. I am. I know I'm getting old because my favorite candy is Tums. Tums are delicious, aren't they? I know. Sometimes I'll be eating the Tums. I'll be like, this does taste like assorted citrus. They got that right. It doesn't taste like orange or lime. It is assorted citrus. That is tasty. You start getting old, your hair starts doing weird things. You know? Like some guys start losing their hair, so they just shave it all off, you know? They're like pulling Agassi. They just shave it off. That's kind of a guy's way of saying, you can't quit, you're fired. I don't know. So I think if there's anything worse than having too little hair, it's got to be having too much. You ever see one of those guys with too much hair? Let me tell you, I'm at the beach this summer, okay? And I go to the beach, and this guy comes out, and he's in a T-shirt and shorts. And he takes off his T-shirt, but it looked like he put on a sweater. And not like a light sweater, like a ski lodge sweater, you know? He had the hair, you know, coming up to make the natural turtleneck. Yeah, it looked like it was forming like a snowflake pattern on the side. And then, as if that weren't enough, he then took off what I thought were his swim trunks to revel in his Speedo glory. The guy looked like a tumbleweed in a chin strap. So I'm not a particularly hairy guy. I don't really have this problem. I'll tell you what happened to me, though. I did get one weird hair. One bing, right off my shoulders, right there. And it wasn't like a part of a pattern that was developing. There was no matching hair on the other side. Just one bing, right out there. And it was like one of those inflatable clowns that you see in front of a car dealership, you know? He's just on my shoulder, like, what are we doing today, Greg? I'd get out of the shower, and he's mocking me. He's like, you gonna shave today, Greg? It's driving me nuts. And normally, this would be where a man would consult his wife. But I'm not married. So I have to consult the next best thing. A gay guy. So I call Ron. Yeah. Ron's one of those names they just got. You know, Ron, Kyle, Lance. They're all there. I call Ron. I'm like, Ron, I got this one weird hair. Ron's like, oh, then bring it over. Let's take a look at this thing. So I go over there. Ron takes a look at it. Me is like, oh, pluck it. And I'm like, I can't. What if it's cancer? What if it's one weird cancer hair? You know? He's like, oh, please. I plucked so many hairs you can make a poncho. But I'm all freaked out. I'm all upset about the cancer hair. And, you know, Ron tries to calm me down. So a couple bottles of wine and a back rub later. And Ron has me convinced that I'm really worried about it. You know what? I should just go see the doctor. Just go to the doctor, have him check it out. So I make an appointment with Dr. Markowitz, my primary care physician. And I go in there, and the thing is, you walk into the office, and there are people there that really need to see Dr. Markowitz. You know, they're blotchy, they're swelling, they have an extra limb, something, you know. And then I come, they're like, well, what seems to be the problem, Mr. Wilson? I got this one weird hair. This hair that I want the doctor to look at. So they send me in there, and Dr. Markowitz comes in, takes one look at the hair, and he goes, no, this is not cancer. This is just a hair. He's like, but if it bothered you so much, we can laser it off. You'll never think about it again. I'm like, lasers? Well, I like the sound of that. You know, that sounds futuristic. You know, that ain't like some Brazilian jungle cure, you know. Sounds like you know what you're doing. You know, I grew up on Star Trek. Everything sounds better with lasers, you know. You'd be like, I'm going to go heat up this coffee with lasers. Right? And that's it. I'm like, dude, he's going to go eat up that coffee with lasers. It's just cooler, automatically. So he goes, oh, yes, no, everyone do this procedure nowadays. It's very popular. Number one non-surgical procedure. Everybody do this, not just the ugly people. And I'm like, thank you? He's like, no, most people just like you. I go, Scorpios? He's like, no. I go, oh, you mean Mexican? He's like, no. Most people just like you, they're not rich. This for everybody. Not rich people get this done. Everybody do this. I'm like, great. That sounds awesome. You know, hook it up, doc. Hook it up. What do I got to do? Do I got to go see the dermatologist? Who do I see about this? He's like, no, I do this myself right here in the office. And he points at this machine. Okay, the laser doesn't look like what you think a laser might look like, okay? It doesn't look like a Star Trek phaser gun, you know, or a Ghostbuster backpack. The laser looks like R2-D2 tried to make it with a wet dry vac. That's what it looks like, okay? He's like, no, we use this. It's the Cutera Cool Glide 1064.